Welcome back to the Mastering Runeterra podcast with Jay and Bae, the number one source for competitive Legends of Runeterra news and information. If you're looking for the best decks to play right now, be sure to check us out on Twitter at Master Runeterra or in our Discord. And if you want to take the next step in leveling up your game, check out our Runeterra team on Patreon, where we do weekly learning calls and one-on-one coaching. Now strap in and grab yourself some Poro snacks, because we are about to start Mastering Runeterra.
Welcome back to the Mastering Runeterra podcast with Jay and Bae, the number one Legends of Runeterra podcast in all of the internet, I assume. We have a truly amazing show for you today. We are going to go over all of the fantastic things that have been announced recently and the meta and stuff, I think. Oh, also, it's our 1 year anniversary. We're having a $1,000 tournament, so that's cool.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah. Bae bet me that I couldn't start the show without saying it's going to be a fantastic show.
That's true.
Did you like that I slipped in fantastic there?
I did.
Updates?
I noticed. Yep.
Amazing's too easy, though.
I wanted like stupendous.
What was that word? What was the word that I used when I was like illustrious?
Oh, illustrious is a good word. Yeah, the illustrious Bae and Jay. No, it was illustrious Jay. I can't remember. One of us was illustrious. I prefer bodacious, actually.
Ooh.
I like that word.
Okay, we'll talk about the things now. So, first up,
roadmap.
It's our podcast. So we can do what we want. $1,000 tournament prize pool on October the 1st, which is MasteringRuneterra.com's 1 year anniversary. So we're having this $1,000 tournament for all of our subscribers. So thank you guys for supporting us for this last year. It's been absolutely wild. The growth of the community and the website, all the stuff we've been able to add to it, all the tournaments we've been able to hold. It's a wild year. We should do I wonder if we should do like a recap video. It'd be a lot of work to go like dig through all this stuff, but it'd be a lot of fun too. I always wanted to find pictures of like the original, but like the original website, like day one, or like the early months or whatever, but I haven't actually been able to find any. I'm sure they
no screenshots or anything.
Nah, they're somewhere in some folder hidden away. Anyways, mark the calendar. It's also the Saturday before seasonals, so get
Good
that
practice.
Amazing testing in October 1st, probably 10 a.m. Pacific. Off the top of my head, yeah, we like to sleep in. I know all the EU people like it if you do it at 9 a.m., but he's got to get his shut-eye, okay? You don't know what he's like to deal with if he doesn't get his sleep. Let me tell you. The nightmare. Anyways. So, start with the roadmap. The long-awaited roadmap number 2, sort of. Riot has a interesting history with roadmaps. We don't need to go back. We'll just jump into this one. So, let's start with, we'll just go over it real quick because there's a lot to dive into here.
Just go all the way down.
Yeah. So we're already in September. We're going to get a couple new boards. We already got 5 champion skins. I think a lot of the stuff we already have.
So all the stuff in September, the Dark and Saga Awakening, 5 new champions, Corrupted Event Part 1, 2 new boards. We've had that. That is what we're currently in. The next thing, mid-season balance patch has yet to come.
Yes. And then new PvE champions, whatever. And then October, so next month, we get 3 new champions. This will be after seasonals. Arc-like event, which I'm not really sure what that is. Maybe you know.
It's like a season. You know how we have this like event pass right now?
Yeah.
It's a new one.
I see. Okay. And then the Darkin Saga Domination, which I meant to ask you. Do you know what the Darkin Saga is? Is this a thing that's going on in League?
Set block. So Kayn and other champions are Darkins.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we can expect like maybe Aatrox or Varus to come at some point. I'm not super caught up on all the lore, but like a Darkin is, it's not like a race, but it's like certain champions are Darkins. So this block is about the Darkins.
Have they been around in League for a while?
Yeah.
Yeah, so and this is interesting because like in for people that don't know, in Magic the Gathering, they used to do blocks where they'd release a set and then they would release 1 or 2 smaller sets that were all kind of like tied together. But they stopped doing that. So do you think, is this like a thing that they're going to start doing now where they have like these like 3 release sets, because I guess there'd be only so many that they could do before they kind of run out of stuff.
I would like that a lot.
But...
I do believe that eventually, in like the next few months, I think we're getting a new Darkin champion in League of Legends, so that would line up.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
And then in November, it's just all blocked off.
Oh, there's a seasonal somewhere in September, October. We're not exactly sure where. Because it says September, 8th. But we're pretty sure it's October. Yeah.
It's October 8th, 9th. Trust. Which, by the way, you know what? No, I'm going to leave it. No, I can't leave it. How do you get this wrong? How do you get this wrong? You had so much time to do this. I noticed it immediately. I looked at it, was like, nope, that's like right there. That's goes there. Like, what? Again, not a big deal, I guess, really. But like, you are Riot effing Games, and you had months to do this. And then, okay, we'll just get choked down my rage. We'll continue moving on. November.
So it says in the client, seasonal tournament, October 8th.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to believe that one. Okay, November. Go ahead. Sorry. We're moving on. We're putting it past this.
I'm lying. I don't actually know that it says that. Somebody else checked it. I knew it always to be that day. It is that date.
I'll check it.
It's not that day.
I'll pull up the client right now. Go over November.
It's definitely that day. November is blocked off, and it says World's Balance Patch, which is nice because that lets us know that there will be a balance patch before Worlds. So like, there's no like
not secret.
Always in the air.
Demacia hotfix.
And exactly, yeah. And then, so then there's the World's Regional. This is also a bit of a change because originally it was sort of announced. It looked like there was going to be maybe 3 weekends. Like there was going to be a World's Regional Qualifiers, which is like the top 64 from each region. And then there was going to be like a top 16 playoff. And then there was going to be the top 8 playoff after that, like maybe 3 different weekends because they took the whole season off. There is no seasonals after this one that we're currently in October and November.
Better qualify or you're gonna be bored.
Yeah, and so this is one of the things I've been throwing at them for months now. I'm like, what is everyone that's not qualified for Worlds gonna do? Nothing? Just 0? You just have nothing for them to do. You're gonna release like 3 new champions and then be like, hey guys, enjoy playing those on best of 1 ladder that doesn't matter also. Like, I don't think that's going to go over very well. And I don't think Worlds is going to really pop off if everyone's like, I don't care. I got nothing to do.
Yeah, it would be real interesting cool if there was a seasonals, like, honestly, right before is like the way you would do it. I love when the super premiere event is first. Because then all eyes are on it, right? Everyone's watching to see what they play for seasonals, right? It's like Pro Tour, Grand Prix. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Everybody watches the Pro Tour to see what's the new meta. You just have to.
And you have to, and you want to.
Yeah, and you want to. And I love that. So I would love to have something like that. I don't think we can, at this point, probably convince them to like slide another one in there, but that'd be really nice.
This is another one of those where, I mean, again, we don't know. Maybe they'll surprise us, but typically it hasn't been the case. Mm-hmm. But this seemed like the kind of thing where they were like, okay, we kind of could have done Worlds better. And then they got in their heads that Worlds is the big deal, which, yeah, it is. But like, it was like kind of weird how they like formulated this. Remember in the last, they're like, we know you want PvE and you want Worlds. Like, the fuck are you talking about? Like, there's a bunch of stuff we want. Those happen to just be like some of the successful things that like kind of popped off. So anyway, so I guess to rectify that, they're like, let's just really hone in on Worlds because they were going to cut coverage, which thankfully they went back on. Thank you, Riot. Credit where credit's due. Fix that mistake. And then I guess they were like, let's, have no seasonals and all the focus can be on Worlds. But like, it doesn't make sense. Like there's, it's like a League of Legends kind of thinking, right? Like you don't want any other, or like Magic does this too during the Pro Tour. Like Star City Games, Shell Fireball, there's no other Magic tournaments happening when the Pro Tour happens that weekend. Everything else gets axed, not allowed to happen like competitively at all. And like League also, right? Because people want to watch those. But this is like a little bit different. It's not really like as big and people aren't as invested. There's all these like big storylines and stuff. And like, we don't even know the prize pool for God's sake to like get people hyped up or what dates it is.
I agree, but first of all, I have some speculation on the dates. So real quick, I'm gonna throw in my speculation on the dates. There's a World's Balance patch in November. I believe that they will have the World's Balance patch likely the first week of November, right? Because you need like 2 weeks, at least 1 week, likely 2 weeks before you actually run Worlds on the Balance patch. So probably the first.
You can like math it out, right? So like the next one, the one before seasonals will be the 28th, and then 1, 2, 1, 2. So there should be one on the 9th.
Okay, so we'll likely get Worlds the third week of November. But yeah, I agree with what you're saying with like, oh, we can't run any events during Worlds weekend, and that kind of sucks. And like, I agree with that, but for a different reason. I don't think there should be any other events during Worlds. However, I think that season, and even the season after, whatever, like should count for something for people who aren't in Worlds. Like what you were saying before was, if I'm not in Worlds and the new stuff comes out or whatever, but I'm a competitive player, why would I play this season? Right? I'm not in Worlds. This season doesn't count for anything. What's the point? Yeah, maybe I'll watch Worlds, but like I'm not competing in anything afterwards, so like I don't need to keep up with the meta. It's not that big of a deal to me. And yeah, I would like to see that change.
You compare that to having a seasonals, where like you say, you build up to Worlds, everyone's playing the same format. So now all of your homies and testing partners that are just, still preparing for seasonals can prepare with you. You guys can prepare as a team, and you all still have stuff to like prepare for, and it's hyped up and people eyes are on it because anyone that wants to do good at seasonals, is going to be watching Worlds, and they're invested in it because they've played these decks. They know what's going on. It's like, totally different experience. So I don't know.
I do get though, like explaining that to someone who hasn't been in it is probably pretty tough. Why would you want a regular season game after the Pro Tour? Not the Pro Tour. Why would you want a regular season game after the Super Bowl? Right? But like it's different when you're like a competitive card game player because you need to keep up with the ever-changing meta. The Pro Tours are new and exciting. It's on this new patch, Worlds or whatever, right? Pro Tour Worlds. It's very exciting because it's the best of the best, and they're keeping the tech like close to their chest, right? And so Worlds is when it breaks out, and you get to see what like the best of the best did with this format, and then you have to adapt to that format. People are adapting. They're bringing in all the new things that people showed off at Worlds. Now you're trying to beat those things. You're trying to see like, are they still good, or did they just take the format by surprise? Like, and that to me is the most interesting part of like competitive card games, is that spot right there.
Yeah. I assume we're getting basically the exact same format as last Worlds, right? With like double elimination, 64. It's gonna be a little bit different this time because there's 3 shards instead of 4. But you just tweak the numbers a little bit. You go like 5,
take
5,
a bigger
6.
slice of the pie or something. I don't know.
Just go like 5, 5, 6 probably. 5 from Europe, 5 from Asia, 6 from Americas. I'd like to see them switch that up going forward. I'm sure they will, but like it was good. It was good. I liked a lot of it. The double elimination, I feel like could be done better.
Maybe
it's a little.
I like the idea of double elimination. Double elimination is just really clunky.
I think I'd love to see more of the cross shard play.
Sure.
Which they could do because they have their own servers. Because like I want to see the big names.
Yeah,
from
play
I want to
against each
see
other
Alan
all the time. Yeah.
versus What Am I versus Pimping Ho. Like those are seasonal champs from different regions going against each other. That's some hype. And you do technically get that, but only once you get down to 16 people. It's so small. And so anyway, just a tweaking so that we get to see more of that. And then also, I don't know, you do a lot of work to make it into Worlds. It is hard work. And then like only 16 people make money, and like and your window is very small. So I'd like to see like a little bit more gameplay somehow than like one double elimination. I don't know how you do it. It's a tough amount of crap. But...
It's tough. It's a lot to ask, but I am with you. Like as someone who was in Worlds and even like qualified for the next round, it was like, oh, I just win another game and I just lose another game and it's over. I'm just done. Like I just don't get to play anymore. and like
Yeah.
that sucks, right? Like I owe two. No, I owe one. I lost the first round, so I didn't owe two. I would have been out. I started with a loss, and I was sitting there, and I was like, if I lose another one, I'm gone.
Yeah. Whereas like and this is a small field too. Like these are 64 players. Like you can do some more. It was the double elimination was over like so fast.
Yeah, it was fast,
crazy fast. Whereas like at a pro tour for Flesh and Butter Magic, we'll have like 300 plus players, and you can go like 5-3 kind of thing and make day 2.
Yeah.
Or 4-3 sometimes. 5-2. Like these kind of like not great records. Like 5-3. It's like not super exciting. And still make day 2 and then still like play for prizes and stuff. And so yeah,
I still want to see 9 rounds. I just want 9 rounds Swiss.
But I want you to put people.
I want you to put them all together.
Oh god,
you put them all together. I want you to go 9 rounds Swiss.
The money.
Yeah. And I want
that's where it's at.
I want like X and 4 to make day 2. Whatever, right? I want there to be like I want there to be a day 2 where like almost 50% of the field makes it, and then after that, you cut to your pods. Yeah. That would be the dream for me. But I'm a long time card game grinder. I fucking love 2-day events. They're my favorite.
I think everyone will love that though. I think players would love it and viewers would love it. It's amazing. Amazing.
Every time you cut to a break or whatever, you put up the standings. That's exciting. Like I love keeping up with that.
Yeah, whereas double elimination, people are fucking out of the tournament before like the broadcast even starts.
You couldn't even tell.
Flying by.
And then you get to pick and choose your matches, your feature matches, whichever ones you want to show. This is a winning in, right? Whoever wins this at XO is just locked. They're in. And then you get down to like the last couple of rounds where it's like they're fighting for their tournament lives. Whoever wins is in, whoever doesn't is out. Like, that's like good stuff, right? I want more of that. And that format gives you a lot more of that.
Yeah, that and like seasonal winner versus seasonal winner, like big name versus big name from different regions. We've never seen that before. That's so exciting. And that's one of the problems that we have is the shards, in my opinion. Is
very
that we
isolated.
The community is massive. The community is absolutely massive. Like we'll get 100,000 people to come to our website, and then the next month, like we'll get over 100,000 people, but like 70,000 of them will be new people.
Yeah,
like, the community is huge. Like our site's just like one little website. It's not even like Mobalytics or something that's just getting like a crap ton of traffic. So like the community is huge. It's really big, but because we're separated into these 3 different shards, it makes it really tough to like come together to put on tournaments or like work together or even care about what's going on in other regions.
Yeah.
So man, I think they kind of got rid of that. Anyways, we're getting off track here. Let's keep going. So that's Worlds. And then December, we've got the last of the trilogy of the Darkened Saga, 3 new champions, Corrupted Event Part 2, mid-season balance patch, more new PvE champions. And then the really exciting stuff looking into next year is more LOR exclusive champions, which I didn't realize that Nora was LOR only. And so we'll have more champions that aren't in League that are only in LOR, which is like really freaking cool. New ways to play, including rotation, which we have no idea what this actually means.
This is what people want to hear us talk about, right? The other stuff is like just exactly what we expect: more balance adjustments, more expansions, right? That's like duh. People really want to hear us talk about rotation. My quick 2 cents is that a format that rotates in some way, shape, or form is good for the game. Is like only a net positive as long as it's not like the only way to play the game. What I expect will happen is we'll have the main format be basically Hearthstone's Wild, just all the cards, right? And then what I would love to see is a rotation format, not strictly defined by dates, right? Not defined by like, okay, base set rotates out, next PNZ, that first set with MF rotates out. That's not what I want to see. What I would love to see is a curated rotation. These cards have been overperforming over the season. Here's the stats. We're rotating these out. We're going to give these other archetypes time to shine and stuff like that. This has been keeping them down. We're going to rotate this out. I don't know, something like that. I feel like that would be really hard. I don't know how that would, but like Magical Christmas Land, I think that would be the coolest.
Well, yeah, because I'm with you. And the problem is that if you do it by time, like they release them as regions together. So I used to like swap regions out or like upload the majority of cards. Like you can't really do that either, right? Yeah. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure how they'll do it either. I think that's a good way. You know, they've been on this for a while, so I'm sure they've done a lot of work on it. But yeah, as long as we still get a format that has all of the cards and a format that just has whatever's left over from the rotation, 2 different formats, that is freaking amazing. Because then when they release a new Kaiza and this format sucks for a month, you're like, oh, I'll just go play this other format with all the old Eternal, with all the other old cards. And there's also just a little something for everyone, because typically the older format with all of the cards tends to be a lot more busted, more combo-ish, faster, whereas the other one tends to be a little bit slower. It doesn't have as many cards, not as much synergy, not as much power. And that's huge. I've been saying that for forever, that we just need more ways to play the game. This is one of them. So yeah, I'm all for it. If they don't give us a format with all of the cards, though, I'm going to lose my actual shit.
Yeah, if they like take away the normal gameplay, that would suck. But I don't think that's going to be the case. Just
do the weird rotate out where you just like put some of the cards on freeze and like rotate them in and out. Like I don't want that. I want like new formats. They also, of course, said that we were going to get a competitive limited format next year. Come on, baby.
Would like to see that still. Yeah. Actual draft, please. I don't want this bucket picking PvE system.
I mean, they literally killed it, so I don't know why they would bring that back.
Yeah, maybe they would just make it Path 2. Limited 2, Expedition 2. Be like, no, please. Draft is not, I'm not going to say draft's been solved, but it has.
Really you know what's really annoying? Wait, what do you mean? Whoa.
Draft's been solved. Like, people have found the most interesting way to play draft. To play limited format, and it's draft.
Okay,
right? Like that's what I meant. Yes. Sorry, not draft. Limited. I feel like limited's been solved. You have normal draft, and then you have cube draft, and these are the coolest ways to play limited, right? Like, and yeah, just copy it, just rip it off.
You know what's really annoying is that members of the community have created like draft bots where you can just get like 15 random cards, or like however you set it up. A sort of like one champion, like however many of each rarity, and then like you can just draft a deck. But Runeterra doesn't let you to play custom games right now, and
so you can't even play the game.
So you can't just like load up a deck that has like a card from every region. So I hope that is something that they also change, because we could be drafting right now by ourselves. We could have our own draft format. We could put on draft tournaments, leagues. Whatever. But we just need the ability to do that. Anyways, long story short, though, they said it was coming. I hope. I mean, it's supposed to be coming. The last I checked in on it, though, I was not super keen with the response that I got. Which
I don't expect to see it for a very long time.
Which was basically, Path is kind of like that. So we're gonna see how Path, like what that itch scratches for people, and then we'll work on the limited format. I was like, in my mouth.
That's the roadmap.
So that is the roadmap, which, man, I gotta say, when I first saw it, I was super hyped. I was very, very hyped. And I don't want to down on it, because there's a lot of good stuff. A lot of stuff to get excited about. Lots of awesome shit coming. They've been doing a very good job. Runeterra really does feel like it's on quite an uptick.
Yeah, this last set was great. The cosmetics have been getting better and better. The event pass is really good right now. Yeah, I'm like,
they give us top 16 awards that we never they just popped out there. Like, oh, hey, by the way,
sick. Yeah.
The
balance patches have been hitting like everyone.
They're crushing it. Home runs. Yeah. Absolutely home runs. Which, by the way, the balance patches are pretty much like, listen to, what the people in the competitive scene are like, not the crazies that are like, I'm the dragon. Sorry, Nick.
Nick. Yeah.
Or like, Ezreal's the problem. Sorry, Mo. Not sorry. But like, seriously, for the longest time, like, yo, you just need to change these cards. You're like good to go. And they've like just missed some stuff and just not touch stuff, and then it would linger on. But now they're just getting basically all this stuff. Anyways, they're also like buffing a bunch of stuff. They're doing a great job. Absolutely great job. And the other thing that we got was the new addition to the ranking system. So now it's like easier to climb up to Masters, which I think is fantastic. I think that's really, really cool. Smart. You're gonna get more people up in Masters because it's a grind. I don't know if anyone
has time. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not all fucking Ruben Zoo over here, okay? We're not just like, with our 90% win rates, just like breaking the fucking meta and going straight to number one. Do you think that's what it is over there? It's like a bunch of people that don't really play the game, and they're like, I don't know. And then there's like Ruben Zoo being like, it's not that hard.
Yeah, bro, it just took me like 7 hours.
There's
to
no
get
one in
one.
the middle.
Yeah.
There's no one in the middle.
No one's like, bro, I played for 50 hours and I just hit master. Yeah,
I'm still gold.
I think this is great because what I want to do is incentivize more people to like play in seasonals. And I feel like if you hit diamond, people start looking towards like AO seasonals is like right there. It's like it's so close. I just have to hit masters and then like win a few games after, and I can play in seasonals. And then people may be like nervous and whatever, be like, I don't really have much of a shot, but like you want to try it once, right? You want to like dip your toes in. But if you're sitting in plat 4, you're not even going to consider it. So I think like pushing people a little more to hit the higher rank, I think that could be really good.
Yeah. So long story short, there's been a lot of really nice changes happening pretty quickly. And yeah, like you say, the patch has been great. The metas have been good outside of Kai'Sa. This one, new cards got released. Meta's pretty good, I would say, which we'll dive into the weeds on that, but definitely much better than the last one. And I would say it's pretty good. I like it quite a bit. So, anyways, I was super excited when I first saw this, and I am excited. I'm excited for a lot of things, mostly the stuff that's coming next year, hopefully. So I'm gonna touch on the things I'm not super excited about, which maybe I have already. But like, no season in October, November.
Or
that
December.
October, November, or December. Do we know?
Yeah.
It says mid-season balance patch.
Yes, no seasonals.
Well, but the season would start in December, so the seasonals would be in January.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So I'm not convinced that, because it should be. It should start over. That's what we did last year. It started over in December. Here's another thing. Anyone at Riot that's listening to this, for God's sake, please. I was gonna say, please like announce more of what's coming, like sooner. Holy fuck. Okay, this is gonna be a tangent. We are 2 weeks into this. We're 2 weeks out, almost 2 weeks out from seasonals. We still haven't got the updated list on points. So it's the last season, and people don't know what they need to do to qualify for Worlds, which is a real problem. Like, just it's not that hard. You like fucking add it up, put it out. Like, come on, there's no excuse for this. Number 2, which is I think much worse, the prize pool that we've been qualifying for like, I don't know, half a year or more is still not out. It's like selling lottery tickets and then like not telling you the prize. Like, I get it. That's like a big one. That's, that one I'll let slide a bit, I guess. But like, we're almost done qualifying and we don't know the prize. It's kind of fucked up. Let's be real. Number 2, the dates. My work is changing and stuff. I'm like working a bunch of Saturdays and stuff now. And so if I qualify for Worlds and I am not able to book these dates off like now, I don't get to play in Worlds. And like, there's no way I'm alone on this. There was all kinds of
last time when they changed the date.
Last time.
It's brutal. Yeah.
And so like, yeah, what is it? September? I mean, I guess we're still 2 months out, but like, and again, I know there's a lot of balancing stuff. I mean, it's in November now. I'm pretty sure you probably know what dates it is by now, right? If you know it's in November, you probably know. Like, throw it up on there. It's kind of fucking important. And then let's see what else we got. And then the stuff that's coming next month, they said like new ways to play, including rotation, which, okay, rotation's
next
exciting.
Year. Next year.
Next year. Yeah. Rotation's exciting, but new ways to play, like elaborate a little bit. The limited format isn't even on there.
I don't think they want to elaborate because they don't know exactly what the timeline is yet.
Because then it locks into some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's a little bare bones. Honestly, if you pick it apart, it's like stuff that we knew was coming, like just the normal like patches and new cards and boards and PvE champions and then Worlds. And then it says new ways to play, including rotation. So,
I mean, it doesn't really surprise me at all. Like, if we're going to see anything new, it's going to be post Worlds, right?
Yes,
it'll be next year.
Totally agree. What I'm more getting at is, so like Dave is apparently going to do the like AMA like next week.
Sure.
why the fuck don't you do that like the next day? That should happen tomorrow. Like, why are you releasing this and then making us wait a week to like learn stuff? Or release it in an article, not an infographic. Like, remember that big article you wrote, Dave, where you were like, hey, we're not going down that PvE path anymore. Sorry, fuckers. We're going down PvP. Blah, 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 blah. Write one of those and give us your thoughts and your thinking and like where the game's at and where it's going and like important information. That would be fantastic. And maybe we will get one of those. It's just, man, I don't understand. For a game like Riot freaking Games, they make some beautiful games, and then they make some very strange decisions when it comes to putting the games out and advertising them or not advertising them or communicating with their community. Strange. But I mean, I don't know. I guess you can't have it all, right? I mean, could be worse.
I mean, this is about exactly what I expected, so I don't really have anything to say about it. Like I mentioned, if we do see anything new, it will be next year. Yeah, no, this is fine. I get new stuff. I'm honestly really excited about like the event passes, which surprised me because we got some really good stuff. Did you know that the corrupted Diana and Leona skin are in this event pass?
I did not know that.
They're sick. They're so cool. Yeah, I'm so close to getting them, and I'm really excited about it.
Can you buy them or no?
I don't think so. I think you have to do it through the event pass. Like, you know how I have Queen Kit, and I always use Queen Kit as my follower?
Yep.
Whatever it's called. Guardian. You can't get her. She's event pass. I'm pretty sure Diana and Leona, event pass locked.
Damn. That's fucking cool.
It's cool.
Yeah. They're doing a lot of good. I
love that. Yeah.
They're doing a lot of stuff good. I know I feel like I'm
the positive one here. What's going on? This is not the normal dynamic.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I poo-poo on them a lot too. I like, please, it's gonna be okay for the future. But I'm also like, what the fuck are you doing? But things are getting better. Things are getting a lot better. And you know, it was only 6 months ago that we were officially a PvE game. So like, you know what? I will take it. There's a lot of stuff that we've gotten in the last 6 months I didn't think we get. And it really does. I don't know about you, but it feels to me like we've really, I don't know, like the game is headed in a very good direction. I'm
pretty happy.
Yeah, I'm excited for the future.
Before we harp on this for an hour, let's talk about the meta a bit, what we've been playing and stuff like that. We are about 30 minutes in.
Okay. I'll go first. I've only played 2 decks. So I played a bunch of the worst, was it Shellfolk? The worst Shellfolk deck?
Nami Nora, that one.
Nami Nora.
Yeah.
And let's see, my win percentage was 76%.
Pretty good.
Over 21 games.
Not too bad though. 21's a sample size. It's not a very big one, but it is a sample size, right?
Yeah. And then I played Ezreal Kennen as well, because that deck is not bad at all.
It don't suck.
Be crushing quite a bit. So I wanted to go first because I was going to have a lot less to say. But yeah, of useful information for people, like, I don't know, meta's wide open. You can play lots of stuff. Ezreal Kennen is maybe the best deck. It might need to get touched. It's like really, really good.
It might be too good. Yeah.
There's so many good decks out there though. Lots of really good stuff. One thing real quick, all I can say about Ezreal Kennen is it plays out differently than other decks. I see people like not understanding how to like level their Kennens like appropriately and like when to bounce stuff. Like you just need to like or like when to play the 4-drop. Like ideally you want to be leveling your Kennen before you go 4-drop. Like you don't want to have one Kennen played ever and then like 4-drop. And now you have 2 Kennens.
That's
and then
like
you're gonna have to bounce one and then bounce another one just to put one back into play. That's where you get.
I say that a lot. It like locks you on like Kennen 4, and you're just like, unless you have Seedling to like cheese your way out of it. But yeah, as Kennen's a cool deck, high skill ceiling. I know a lot of people hate it, and it is too good right now, I think. But my like hot take, maybe not even that hot. I think once Ionia Nami gets tuned more, because it's like still being changed a lot, I think it will be the de facto best deck in the format.
Yeah, let's talk about that one a little bit, because I know you've been like pretty hot on it. I don't really get it, but I didn't play it a bunch. The Shadow Isles version I just like because I'm like, oh, I killed that. I'll kill that too. and I kill that thing over there.
And then I
it's
kill
like,
you. Yeah.
yeah. And it's a lot, I don't know, easier to play if you don't know what you're doing, because you're like, removal spell, thing I need to kill. Easy game.
This just works, yeah.
Whereas like the Ionia ones, like they played a bunch of stuff, and then I leveled my Nami, then I made my guys really big, and then like I died. Like I didn't have any more cards in hand, I died.
Does happen sometimes.
So what's the deal? I know you.
It's probably the best Vistayan Disciple deck, which I really like that card. The 1-drop, that whoosh.
Oh right, yeah.
I love that card. And then
for anyone that doesn't know, it's the 1/1 elusive that you hit them and
makes the 2 mana burst card that draws you card.
Yeah,
love that card. It really like fixes your mana problems because the deck wants to like spend mana, right? And the Shadow Isles one gets around that by like Glimpse, Vile Feast, and Go Hard. The Ionia doesn't get that, so you use Vistayan Disciple to accomplish basically the same thing. And now they're moving into, I think it's called like Heavy Metal, the one that like blows up an equipment and deals 2.
I like that
just like a small little removal spell that's nice to cast on like turn 3 or whatever. And moving away from Eye of the Dragon, which is really good because that card was like not good in the deck. It's a terrible top deck, and you need all your cards to like do something.
It's been not good in a lot of Ionia decks, and has eventually gotten like cut or trimmed, like a ridiculous amount of the time.
It's just not that good of a card.
Yeah,
it can be, and like when everything works out, it is like insane. But most of the time, that doesn't happen. I can't tell you how many games I played where I played Eye of the Dragon and just never got into Dragon Link through like 6 turns of it being on the board, right? Or maybe it just fucking dies, right? Like that happens all the time. It's really actually rather tough to keep it activated and keep yourself not so far behind in the game. But yeah, the deck is incredible at leveling Twisted Fate because you have the draw of like the Shadow Isles one plus some more on top. Plus, you're very good at keeping Twisted Fate alive. You have your Ionian like pump / protection spells, and you have denies and notifies.
Do you love this deck simply because it's really good at leveling Twisted Fate, and that's a super fun thing to do?
Well, drawing cards is a super fun thing to do. Leveling Twisted Fate is a super fun thing to do. I also love Nami. She's one of my favorite champions in the game. So I'm a big fan of this deck. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's try again. I was like, how biased are you? Okay, I have a really fun. Okay, I have a fun little story that I've never told anyone. Happened like last season or something. It's playing like Pirates versus Pirates, and my opponent levels Twisted Fate.
Okay.
Tells you how good the game's going.
In Pirates, yeah.
In Pirates, they have like full board, full hand. I have like 1 unit in the board, 1 card in hand. They have a level Twisted Fate. So like they give you the GG, game's fucking over, right? They're like, I'm at like, I don't know, 6 or something. They're at 4, and like goes to their turn, and I draw like, the Decimate. That's obviously too late because they're just gonna like boop into me, and they fucking cast like Eye of Nakaguburos, so they burst, putting the red card on the stack.
Move their guys there first. Blue card, yeah,
passing priority to me. Then I got to decimate them for the win. I was like, and they even
GG.
early GG'd me. I was like, fucking GG. Oh, that felt good.
I sat there on stream once and panicked. I was like, okay, if I cast Eye of Nakaguburos, I know blue card goes on the stack. I was like, I'm pretty sure it works if I just drag my guys here first. And it does. So you have to have your units up. And then you cast your burst spell. And then you can like commit to your attack. Yeah, it's weird.
Oh.
Yeah. Because otherwise
I don't think I've ever done that.
Considers you're in like your main phase or whatever. But if you drag them up, then you're like weird. In combat. Yeah. It's the same as like dragging your guys up, casting a fast spell, and then clicking commit. It's like the same thing.
I managed to drag my guys up and then cast the burst spell that deals 2 to a unit and like makes 2 of their things
down. Yeah.
Yeah, I shook down my guy and then I clicked commit and then I just took the damage because
I've done that. Yeah, done that so many times where I like
how else because if you click commit, then they can just commit back.
Yeah.
Right?
Or like, where you like line up your block and then you shake down, so you ghost block, it kills your unit, and you realize you didn't actually block, you just killed your unit because it's burst speed, and you're like, oh. I've done that a few times, yeah. You're not alone.
Yeah. Anyways,
so been playing that a bit. I'm playing Ezreal.
Okay, so real talk. There's a bunch of good Ionia decks.
Yes.
A bunch of good Nami decks. Ionia Nami, like where's it really at? Like
The Ionia Nami deck?
Yeah, and I guess
Yeah.
like you could talk Shadow Isles Nami also. Like
I think
if
Nami's
you
are
were
top 3. The
Sorry, what?
Nami amalgamation. Pick your Nami deck, not Nora.
Uh-huh.
I think
Yeah.
they're top 3.
They're in the top 3.
Yeah. One of them is in the top 3.
I see. Okay. You're not 100% sure that Ionia is better than Shadow Isles? Or
Meta dependent. I think right now it is.
that's fair. Almost for sure, no matter what, that would be the case, right?
Now the
'Cause,
Shadow Isles one gets like 3 go hard, which is cool against Ken and Ezreal. The Ionia one is pretty good against Lee because you just like deny and palm and stuff. So it's meta dependent, but I think like one of them will be a top 3 deck pretty much for the entirety of this balance patch. In my opinion.
How do they line up into Ezreal Kennen?
Ionia not super well. Now you can win, like you definitely can. It's just tough because you can't really interact with the Kennens very well. Heavy metal does help because you like something. And I saw people teching in like Make It Rain and stuff, which I don't like, but yeah, I get why you put it in there. The Shadow Isles version does better because you have like go hards. You can run Quietus. Even like Vengeance against Ezreal is good, right? And the Shadow Isles one's a little better at just killing you. So it gets the edge there.
Okay. So moving on. Speaking of Lee Sin.
Yeah, Akshan Lee has been putting up numbers. Good numbers. It's not the best deck. It's good. I was playing Victor Lee today to quite a bit of success, where it's like the Ballistic Bot, Eye of the Dragon, now with Vestayan Disciple, which is such a good card. Might be the best like Ionian card printed in the set. That and Momentous Choice. I've been enjoying that deck. And
it had the highest win rate on the ladder, like the last week or something.
So I've been playing that. I played not mono. I played like all in Fizz Auction earlier today. I played Gwen Sejuani to Masters. Like there's just a lot of stuff you could be playing right now.
There's a lot of stuff. Okay, hold on. Dig into Lee a little bit more.
Okay, so Akshan Lee or Victor Lee?
Victor Lee. Well, which of them actually has legs? Which one's better?
We're not sure yet. Akshan Lee has been consistently good. Victor Lee is currently the flash in the pan for today. We don't know if it will stick, right? But they're both good.
Yeah. Are either of those good against Ezreal Kennen?
Not particularly, because you're like the clunkier Ionia deck, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to play Akshan Lee
still
against Ezreal Kennen. The Victor one is like better because you get like ballistic bots and stuff. Still kind of sucks because Kennen's really good at killing ballistic bots. But again, I have won the matchup. Victor's champ spell has been like very good for me actually in that matchup. But yeah, you don't want to play the clunky Ionia deck into Kennen Ezreal.
Okay. What else? Fizz? We played some Fizz?
Fizz Auction. Not my style of deck. YouTube video comes out on that tomorrow, so probably the day today for you guys watching this. Not my style, but it was very just all in Fizz. Throw big equipment on Fizz, pump him, attack, play the 3-mana Buru guy that gives your guy free attack, like your 1-drop attack again. Like that was the deck, and it worked. I was just blowing people up. It was pretty funny.
This is really good. This
is really good champion.
Good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's basically been my experience. I'm sitting at like 135 LP right now. I think I do need to finish high in order to get the world's qualification. Now I can just clinch it in like seasonals, but I'd rather not depend on that. So yeah,
you mean by top 8ing or by seasonal points?
Probably both. I don't know. I have like 272s or something like that. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's like. But if you top cut.
Yeah, but again, I'm just gonna try to do it on ladder and not worry about it. So I did finish second place in one of the previous seasons, and I'm telling myself top 10. Although I'm pretty sure that's not the case. I think I just need like a top 20 finish, but I'm going to just shoot for like single digit. That way I don't have to worry about it. That's the plan.
Yeah. Good plan. Because you are going to be very busy.
Very busy.
Leading up to the season.
Next 2 months, just incredibly busy. I found out that seasonals is during TwitchCon, which I will be at. So I'm going to, this time I will be buying a laptop, going down. I don't have a laptop. Going down. I will be streaming it. I'll just sit in the Airbnb, skip TwitchCon that day, and just stream it.
Yeah. So to recap, first seasonal, you're at the Pro Tour. Second seasonal, you're casting. Third seasonal, you're at the Pro Tour. Fourth seasonal, you are at TwitchCon.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure Worlds isn't during Flesh and Blood Worlds, so that's good.
Pretty sure.
Sure.
Let me wait till I make some phone calls. Okay.
Yeah.
They changed it last year. They could change it again.
Just unfortunate how that works out. But like, I will be putting a prioritization on seasonals this time.
Well, this is
right. Like
important,
TwitchCon,
right?
I don't need to go to all 3 days of TwitchCon. I really don't care. So I will be there streaming. There might be a lot of people in the background. We might have like a seasonal streaming party. It'll be like me, Squeeby will be there, right? Like just playing seasonals.
During seasonals?
Yeah. Well, he's in my Airbnb.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. Oh, that's
anyone who's
so
playing seasonals, come through. Like play in the same house or whatever. That's pretty fun, actually.
Oh, another deck we didn't talk about is timelines. Everyone's up in arms about timelines. I don't get it. The
That's
deck's
a pain
super
in the
beatable
ass to play against. You're playing Ken and Ezreal. Yeah, of course you're beating it.
Yeah.
So
play
a lot
some
of times,
Ionia, you
the
friends.
The problem with timelines is the deck is either like high tier 1, maybe even tier 0 if it gets timelines on 1, and it's unless you're playing the deck that specifically counters it, or it's like tier 3, right? If it doesn't have concurrent timelines. Like the deck without timelines is like so bad. And now the deck with timelines is so good because of things like War Chefs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I beat it with like a lot of decks. War Chefs is good for sure, but
like I'm not being like we have the hot
anyways.
fix or anything. It's just a pain in the ass. It just sucks when they cast concurrent on 1. You're like, oh, because you can't do anything about it. There is no interacting with concurrent timelines on 1, right? And that's kind of what's frustrating.
But they're just playing units, bro.
Well, now these units have multiple keywords with weapons, bro. Like
when you get like spells to kill the units.
The problem is when the units are like 7/6 overwhelmers with scout on turn 4, and you're like, what am I supposed to do about this?
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna look at some stats here real quick. Is Trundle Vi? Is that must be timelines, right?
Yeah.
It is the 12th most played deck.
Mm-hmm. It was like 3rd a bit ago.
And it has a 52% win percentage.
Yeah.
Why are people complaining about this?
I feel like you're ignoring what I'm saying.
But like, okay, like you could say that about a lot of decks. Like if he played against timelines, or no, sorry,
yes, yeah, I have. I played against.
Sorry, I have to say infinite.
Yeah, no, that's also fucking miserable.
Either
and
does
that needs
nothing,
to be changed as well.
or you sit there while it kills you. But it sucks. The deck sucks.
Yeah, no, lump that in as well. Get that shit out of here.
No, let me have my shit decks. You guys are the worst with your.
But they're not
on stuff
bad.
That's not even good. Why don't you go complain about things that matter, like Kai'Sa? Like that was a fucking problem.
I did.
Wait. Does everyone just need something to complain about? It's like there's no Kai'Sa.
I think these are good things to complain about.
Timelines. That looks annoying.
It is annoying. It's annoying because something that you have no control over, your opponent is going to full mulligan for timelines because it is that impactful. And if they hit it on turn 1, their chance of beating you goes up like 15-20%.
So why don't you just play Ezreal Kennen then?
Because some people don't want to play the same deck over.
Some people don't want to play the best deck that also crushes that deck. And like, there's a bunch of decks that beat it though. There's a bunch of decks that beat that deck.
Yeah, no, there is. But I don't want that. That's not the problem. The problem isn't this instance. I don't want things that I have no control over swinging matchups by 30%. You know what I mean? Like, it creates a lot of feel bad moments. I don't want infinite in the game because I can't do anything about it.
See, I'm on the opposite. I'm the infinite tree timelines loving. I like stuff like this that I think it's still overcomable. Like it's not like Tree was a better example because there were some decks that really just could not ever deal with Tree. Like they just couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
And to that, I think we should have just had better answers to Tree. rather than making tree lovers like myself and those 3 other guys unhappy. I assume there's 3 more, I hope. Because we don't get to play tree anymore. Because like if you just had good landmark removal, like it would have been fine.
That deck was miserable to play against, even if you had landmark removal. It was awful.
Well, the early version had the crazy Mayor telescope, like it really abused all that Vandal City stuff. But that got hit, and then you didn't get to do all that craziness. You just run out of gas. I don't know. Just like these decks, these decks are not OP.
Don't agree on this.
The decks, if the deck sucks, I'm like, let people have it. Let people have that shitty deck. Like the original Timelines deck, it's terrible. It was so bad, but you could once in a blue moon, you would go Timelines into what was it? Like 8-drop into 9-drop or
yep, it was
whatever,
Ledros. And I honestly, I thought that one was fine. I thought that one was totally fine.
But sometimes they high roll you and then you die if they don't do one of a million things and they haven't killed you by turn 9.
You could interact with that though.
Yeah.
But now the rolls off concurrent are so fucking good because of like War Chefs, Aloof Travelers, that it's just like if they don't have concurrent on one, they're basically not playing a deck. And then if they do, their deck's so much better than yours. And yeah, you can still win, but like I just don't want my games to be decided like that. It just feels miserable. And like that's the stats say, oh, it's not like the best deck, and it's not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's like an overpowered deck. What I'm saying is it creates a lot of like feel bad situations. I don't want to play against that. And like Kaisa at some point wasn't the most winningest deck in the format. Was it like the best deck? Yeah. But like it wasn't the most winningest deck. But the problem was like the deck was so fucking miserable to play against. And like we're supposed to make these complaints, right?
And so that's, to me, Kaisa is like what when you say you can't play against something like Kaisa, like that's like there was like I have all the removal spells, doesn't matter. I go faster than you, doesn't matter. Like there was nothing. There was actual nothing. Whereas this stuff, like I get it. Sometimes it does its thing and you lose. So like, does that mean we have to get rid of all of it? Like we have to get rid of Zoe Asol? Gotta get rid of that. It's like, no, these are all like fringy, crappy tier 3 decks. And sometimes they go off and they just get you. And I'm okay with that. If you want to bring that to a tournament, good on you. Like, good luck. Because you're going to get smashed probably. Though some Infinite did slip through the last seasons. But you know what I mean?
God, Infinite is miserable.
Like, why are we balancing for people's feelings?
Well, I mean, you should be, right? Like, it should be their most important thing is like that you're having fun playing the game. And so if everyone's playing fucking Kaisa, it's not fun. And you should balance around that.
No.
What about Old Azerelia? It wasn't the highest win rate deck in the game. That format was like the worst format I've ever played in like any card game besides like Eldrazi Winter.
Only how I feel about Tree. Okay, it's fair. It's everything you're saying is very fair, very true. I like playing decks that get to do the stupid things.
You like to do the degenerate thing. I get you.
Yeah, it's touch
fine.
Me, a soul on 6, bitch. Yeah, it's a good time.
I get you.
But I will pay that price when I'm like, no, my deck did nothing. I died.
Well,
not a tournament though. Not a goddamn tournament.
I just prefer to not have those. Like I wish that decks like
chess.
Infinite. I like chess.
I like chess too. There's no RNG. Nothing to complain about.
It's a good game. I wish decks like Infinite existed in Runeterra, but there were actual ways to interact with them. And don't say like, oh, you can blow up the landmark, because like that's not really. Come on, that's not how that works.
I can only play this spell 15 times now, bro.
What am I supposed to do? Like, you know what I mean? Like that deck you cannot interact with the deck. Whether the deck goes off or doesn't,
blowing
it's like
up the
nothing.
landmark, by the way, very effective.
It can be. It can be.
Let action flip. It's cool. Just kill it as it gets to like 3 or 4, and then like, or even just before auction flips.
I was gonna say, because the
try
problem
to go all the way back. Just at any time though, the first time's maybe better. But at any time, though, that they have to start reset or like just present a clock.
Yeah.
Or...
I mean, the problem is like if you blow up their landmark, you're giving them a whole extra turn, and the deck runs Sands of Time and like 6 copies of Auction, so it just like never has problems flipping it again. There's like really not much you can do, and that's the frustrating part. Because if there were, because there's combo decks in like Magic, right? But like you get to board in ways to deal with them if you want, right? You have your counter spells. Sometimes, yeah. And the decks that you can't board in, usually something happens with those decks. Usually they get banned.
Sometimes you just have a really bad matchup.
Yeah, that's true.
Happens all the time. Sometimes you're just a dirtily mid-range deck, and you're like, I'm here to stomp on control and aggro, and they're like combo, and you're like, well, fuck me, like
That
I
sucks.
can't
Yeah,
outrace you, and my
you board
card's
in
gonna
your
suck.
dot seizes and your duresses and you try to get there. But like this,
You
we don't
cross your
have
fingers,
that.
but
We don't have anything like that. So playing against Infinite is literally just like, okay, I'm going to present as much as I can, and I'm going to hope it works out for me. And then when it doesn't, you're like, well, I did everything I could, and I could not do anything
Yeah,
about
and
what my opponent was doing, and that sucks.
And so my thing is that the majority of the time with these decks, that's not going to happen, and they're going to get blown out, and they pay that price. And so they should be allowed to be like, haha, can't touch me, some small percentage of the time. When it becomes Kaiser level and it's just all the time, or just
Small
too
percentage.
much.
But what if the Infinite deck's winning plus 50, like it is right now?
I think plus 50 is fine.
Okay.
A deck can be 55% win percentage. That's fine. I think once you go over
completely
55,
uninteractive deck.
it's not completely uninteractive.
It is completely uninteractive.
It's not completely uninteractive.
How do you interact with it?
So you can kill Akshan before he levels,
Which
'cause you
basically
do need
benefits
him.
them because they have so many copies and they're going to hit
sometimes,
it.
sometimes not.
Sure.
You can blow up the landmark and set them back. Or what's even their win condition now? Because there's they used to have they had
they
Ari
play-
for a while, which you could totally stop. They don't use that anymore.
It's they play the 3/3 that searches. They pick iterative improvement, and they iterative fill the board, and then they cast the Echo spell that puts the make a free rally with an ephemeral version of all your units, and they just cast it over and over and over and over and over again. So they just have like a bunch of them, and then they just free attack you like 9 times. And like you can counter one, but it doesn't matter because they pack
I gotta go play that
counters.
deck right now.
It
So
is
good.
The problem is it's a cool deck. It really is. And people are going to be like, what?
It really is.
Didn't you just say it should go away? And like, I want decks like this to exist. I just want to be able to have some way to do something about it when I'm on the other side of the field. Besides like just going, well,
kill them before they do it. Here's
most
the
decks
thing:
can't do that, right?
if you blow up the landmark, it sets them way back and makes them use a bunch of resources.
It
Like
sets
they don't just
you
like
way back.
they don't just like go off. They don't just like, oh hey, I leveled up my landmark. It's a given that I go off. That's not how it works. Like you got a lot of blanks in your deck still. I don't know the current iterations. They might have like got rid of some of those.
They're really, really lean.
But you got like 6 auctions to begin with because you got 3 of the tutors, which you can still sort of use and stuff. But there's typically like a bunch of stuff, and like, yeah, so it's not always a given. It's pretty good. But if you make them spend a bunch of their cards, like digging and like counting down a landmark and stuff, like doing it twice, by the time they go off, they'll have like maybe 2 or 3 cards left in their hand, and it's like much harder to go off.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways, but like, do you have to interact with all types of things? Like pirates isn't like, I can't blow up their landmark, like even though it kills their dudes now. But you know what I mean? Like in Magic. Like aggro decks didn't deal with all the things. Combo decks didn't deal with all the things. They did different things. And they were very good against some stuff and bad against some stuff. Like you have to be able to interact with pirates and combo and Lee Sin and AK and scouts. Like that's you know what I mean? Like some decks are just gonna suck.
It should get to interact at least a little bit. And like without packing like fucking crumbles in my like normal deck. Like is it better than it used to be with like landmark interaction? Yeah, it's getting better. It's just like, but we should have these complaints because I'm telling you, this is such a major feels bad for me. And like whether or not you agree, that's fine. But if like 70% of the people playing the game are like, I hate playing this deck. It's such a miserable experience. It makes me turn the game off.
Then they're all babies. Oh,
sure.
That's where you're going. Sorry.
But you should listen, right? You should at least take it into consideration.
Yes. I mean, if how do we don't know what the actual percentage of people that dislike stuff is, though. And people hate stuff all the time. That's my thing. I've like almost never hated playing against a deck. Everyone's like, oh, I hate this deck. I hate that deck. If I'm losing to a deck repeatedly, I go play the deck that beats that deck. Like, and then I'm like, I love seeing that deck. That's just what I do.
I think the problem is like for me and for a lot of people, playing the deck I want to play is more important to me than winning. Yeah, I know. Shocker, right?
I'm joking, people, with all my reactions here. If anyone's picking up on it, these are jokes.
A little hyperbolic, jokes. Yeah. So like, I don't want to just, oh my god, Auction Infinite's like the best deck. It's not. But like, so I'll just go play Pirates because that beats it, and like that's good. Because I don't want to do that. I don't want to play Pirates. I'd rather go play another game than play a deck I don't want to play. Right? Like I would, if that was like my option, if my option was to play Pirates or play Kaisa, I would do what I did during that
How do you possibly do
format.
that for everyone though? Because I just really wanted to play Spiders, even though it hasn't been good in fucking
you can't.
year.
You can't do that. You could do your best, but I think like putting forth these complaints is important, even if they're not all valid, right? Even if some people have some really bad complaints, it's important that people be like, do you think there's
more people that dislike playing against a deck than actually playing it? With Infinite, I would say probably definitely, because there's not that many people that play the deck.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like I would play. There, man. It's fun. I don't give people any shit for playing Infinite, because it is exactly the type of deck that I would love to play. That is like my kind of deck. Combo deck where I just try to stay alive and then I get to do a really cool thing at the end, cast a lot of spells. Like, I think that's super cool.
I think giving people shit for playing any deck is fucking weird.
Yeah, it's very cringe.
Weird as fuck. And people do it all the time, and it's like, so strange.
You're showing up to a tournament and trying to win in ranked, bro.
People in our Discord are like this all the time. Like, like are people gonna get mad at me if I play this, like, Kaisa, like in Kaisa season, or like this other deck? I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, if they are, then like, why do you care about what they think?
Yeah. It's literally if like a random stranger came out on the street outside your house. It was like, I don't like the color of your door. We'd be like,
it's like, I don't give a fuck. Yeah.
Okay.
Sick, bro.
Interesting opinion to have. I'm going to continue all of my life as if I never fucking heard you or knew who you were. Anyways.
I was playing against Santa, who was playing Infinite on ladder, and I was sitting there ranting on stream. Because like he hit like a low percentage hit and just got there. And I was like, there's nothing I could have done. I did everything I could. I hate this feeling. I want to be able to interact with what my opponent's doing. It really sucks. Blah, blah, blah. Whine. And he jumps into my chat and he's like, yo, dude, sorry for playing Infinite. I know it sucks to play against. I just really like the deck. And I was like, I'm not mad at you. Like, the deck you want to play. Like, you're playing within the rules on rank. Like, I'm not going to give you a hard time, but I am going to rant about this deck, like, because I just don't want to play it. But yeah, I would never be like, how dare you? Right? That's ridiculous.
Unbelievable. Unacceptable.
Yep. Anyway, anything else we want to go over?
Yeah. Let's wrap it up here with if you want to beat Ezreal Kennen, Scouts.
Yeah.
Scouts a good one,
Pirates.
Right? Or no?
Pirates is probably your best bet. Yeah. And it's like not even that good. Ezreal Kennen's biggest loss is to itself. It's not even to like a deck, right? Because like when you play Pirates and if they do the thing, like you're still probably going to lose.
I feel like Scouts is harder. You don't think Scouts is harder?
Because Kennen just shoots. He just.
I guess so, but they're like turn 1 dude, turn 2 dudes, turn 3 dudes, turn 4 2 dudes. Like they're always just pumping out so many guys.
Yeah, and like Pirates does that, but they have Make It Rain to like back it up, right?
Yeah, but like Pirates, you kind of like you just know what's coming. You're like, there's a shitter, there's another shitter,
and there's another
shitter.
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna have a little bit of burn. A little burn coming. Like you could just line that up, no problem. With Scouts though, it's like, do I have to counter this Fortamacia? Do I have to wait for the rally? The scout attacks are actually super annoying, right?
Yeah, no, they are.
Like Misfortune potentially. Like
Palm is better against Scouts than it is against Pirates. I'm just saying, in my experience, Pirates has been more difficult because they bring a lot of raw power immediately.
That's really good.
And then they back it up with cards that make your life miserable, like Make It Rain and Fervor.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
go underneath. Is there anything else? Any other decks that are like?
Honestly, not much. Kennen kind of shits on a lot of things, but it does lose to itself a lot, which is, I think, this relates back to our conversation about Infinite and timelines. Is like, if the deck does its thing, there's not much you can do about it. And if it doesn't, then the deck just like lose. It just poops out and just dies because it doesn't cast anything till turn 4. And so, yeah, I would say Pirates is probably your best option. Maybe
I will say that the metas do seem to be better when decks like, I don't know, Tree or what have you, that people sort of hate on, get pushed out.
Yeah,
that are uninteractive, that are hard to interact with, as Ezreal Kennen. Ari Kennen, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I hate to admit it. Ari Kennen.
I hate to admit it. I love these.
I think
decks.
Ezreal Kennen is worse than Ari Kennen. I think Ari Kennen, there was a lot more back and forth, especially with the Shadow Isles version. Ezreal Kennen is not quite that way, and then when it doesn't do much. It just like doesn't die, kills you. Or Ari Kennen wasn't quite that way if you were playing like a normal game. There's a lot of there's like more chipping in with Ari Kennen, 5 here, 6 here, go for a kill. So yeah, I do think Ezreal Kennen should and will get tweaked in the future. But for now, it's probably the best deck. You can play Pirates to try to beat it.
Ari Kennen, real quick. Is Ari Kennen? I saw that someone was playing it, had like an okay win percentage. Is it a thing?
People are playing it, the Absolver version with Fae Blade Twirler and stuff, and I think that's cool.
No, I saw the Go Hard version. Don't tease me with the Absolver version.
Yeah, I think the Go Hard version is dog shit. I got baited into playing
the Go Hard version.
Yeah, and I just got blasted because the deck sucks.
Yeah,
you're just like an underpowered.
Format's changed.
What's up?
Format's changed also, right?
Format's
like
changed,
stuff's just more powerful.
Go Hard's not a very good card.
Yeah.
You
It's
can play
weird.
it
It's
in
funny though,
non-TF
hey?
because you get to exploit it. Yeah, it is funny. All right, that's all I got.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up. Remember, tournament October 1st, $1,000, all of our subscribers. Thank you guys. Oh, also, I forgot to kind of announce this. You can now go to MasterRuneterra.com and sign yourself up for a free account, and then you can link your Riot account, and then you get all of your stats for like all of your history for all of your games, and then also like your top 4 decks, what the stats are. We're adding lots of more stuff on there. Like soon you'll be able to do like, you know, what are all my Pirates stats versus like other decks? Like what's my actual win percentage, Pirates versus Scouts, or Pirates versus Ezreal Kennen? So you know your own stats also compared to like the global stats, which is pretty cool. All right, we'll see you guys again next week. Peace.